has one of the fastest emerging economies in sub-Saharan Africa. It has long been known as one of Africa's biggest tech hubs and is often dubbed as the Silicon Savannah due to the many global tech giants that have set up here, such as Google, Microsoft, Visa, Cisco, Oracle, and IBM. It is also the pioneer and a global leader of mobile payments in the world via M-Pesa under Safaricom. The government provides a supportive environment for innovation through investor-friendly regulations and an educational curriculum that promotes a technical background.
My work revolves around building female tech talent from the African continent. I run a Curechicks where we are pretty much the leading source of African female tech talent. Curechicks now has been in existence for the last 12 years. A lot has happened within the 12-year span. A lot of growth in terms of the work that we do, a lot of pivoting, with the most recent being 2019, where we pivoted our Code Hive program from being a day program to a residential program. And so the Code Hive program is pretty much a one-year residential program where the young women stay on campus and get to learn the technical skills, but also what we call agency, which is pretty much navigating their journey as women in tech. And so at the end of it all, they are able to get the necessary skills and be able to take up opportunities in the tech ecosystem.
I'm Juanita Wanjiku, Code Hive class of 2021, currently working as a software quality assurance engineer at a company called CoreSave Technology, which is a mobile savings app that helps people save towards different goals. This is a 3D printer and it's used in one of the classes, the industrial design class, and there is no limitation to what you can sort of print with this machine. But at the moment what we are doing is printing out a simple cut just to test out the machine and how it works, and if everything, all the settings are in place so that we can continue to sort of print out different objects.
Most of the young women we work with come from some of the most underserved backgrounds. So we work with young women from some of the hardest to reach areas in Kenya and the East Africa community. So from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and we're going to be opening up applications soon. So we'll be looking at adding in Ethiopia as one of the other countries. But also we work with young women from the refugee communities, specifically Kakuma. So giving opportunities to people who in a normal day wouldn't have access to tertiary education. So they finished high school, but then they don't have access to college or university or any vocational training. And so this one-year program supports them to be able to get the right skills and be able to end up being productive and being a skilled people who can actually get jobs and start supporting themselves.
So at the moment, I'm able to sort of stand by myself in terms of financially. Just before I came, the hustle of just being in Nairobi and Kenya, you just do these small jobs. But then right now, I'm at a place where I can work for a company and then also get to buy myself stuff, and also my siblings and my family as well do things that are able to uplift your family.
We've been doing this, program, our residential program has been in existence since 2019, and so we've graduated 3 cohorts with our 4th cohort currently in progress. Our largest cohort, which is 100 young people, and so we've been able to achieve a lot from the tech, serving the tech ecosystem in terms of giving talent, but mainly female tech talent, and so starting to see a lot of changes in the engineering teams, especially as our students get jobs in tech startups. Start seeing in terms of gender balance. We're pretty much changing. We are not yet at where we can say we are balanced, but then I can say that we are making steps to actually get there, because at least when you go to some of the tech startups, our graduates work, at least you are sure that there is a woman in the engineering department, and not necessarily just a male dominated department. So there's a lot that we've done in terms of changing the ecosystem. When I look back since 2010 when we started, we weren't many, but now I think it's nice to see, even when we run our Africa Women in Tech conference, there are number of women that show up that are in the tech ecosystem. It means that we are doing something. Yes, it might just be a drop in the ocean, but then there is some form of impact that is happening. But also for the lives of the young women that we work with. With the work that we do in terms of our mission is we kill two birds with one stone. We want to bridge the gender gap in tech, but at the same time we want to make sure that we are contributing to reducing the unemployment crisis, and to be specific, helping young women access opportunities in terms of jobs so that they can be able to support themselves and break the intergenerational cycle of poverty. So technology for us is a tool that helps us kill these two birds at any one given point. And so for us, we've seen a lot of impact even in the lives of these young women and their families. So from someone who came in here, had never touched a computer, never even knew anything about the tech industry, comes in here, gets the right support in terms of knowledge, skills, in terms of support from a human perspective, so what we call agency, so building their confidence, their self-esteem, being able to plan their lives, goal setting, seeing what their careers look like, to at the end of it all being able to graduate, get themselves a good job as a software engineer and start earning good money, that then they are able to support themselves and start supporting their families. And so for us, that's a huge win, and pretty much why we exist here.
Hashtag I am what?
100%.
I am a what and a what and a what?
I am a woman and I deserve to be heard.
Exactly. I am a person and I can do it while at it.
Yes.
So you will do it. Yes, please.
The experience has been amazing, ranging from the classes to the people you get to interact with, given that we have people from different countries as well. Just being here for a year, getting the skills plus also the soft skills as well, to just get to interact with different people. Waking up to knowing that every day you're learning something new, something that you're building on to what you knew yesterday. Yeah, so it's just been an awesome experience for me.
Archaeotics is a not-for-profit, and so it means the work that we do is mainly funded, and so we currently get our funding from different foundations, so from family foundations to women's funds, for instance, the Africa Women Development Fund, the Global Fund for Women, and foundations such as the Seagull Family Foundation, the Livelihood Impact Fund. So a lot of that mainly coming from the West, and also we do get a lot of in-kind support from different organizations, even corporates for some. We've gotten support, even some of the things that we have come from companies that just donate in terms of like resources, both in kind and financial as well.
Kenya boasts good access to fast and stable internet and electricity connectivity across cities. All these have enabled digital literacy with an increase in mobile penetration and mobile internet usage. This has also created opportunities for more innovative technologies while driving the digital migration of common services that were previously done manually, such as application for ID registration, which can be offered through Huduma centers, driver's license, which one can apply online, voter registration, and judicial proceedings.
So what we are having now is we're having a meeting here, but we're also televising the meeting. So we're able to see this session online. If you go and look on YouTube later, maybe on Facebook and other media, you'll be able to see yourselves and be able to see this meeting.
So it is what you tell yourself that you want to be, and what you want others to see you. If you want others to see you as Jane and not John, and not that you cannot do the sciences, then you'll be that way. And I think I like the idea that you want to be doctors, you want to be neurosurgeons and the rest. So it is always in our mind.
How did you transition from there, where you, from a bad education system or an education system which wasn't favoring you, to being the engineer you are today? That would really encourage us.
It's more like, you see, sometimes it is in the mind of the place, like the place sometimes can be influential. So for me, I think the teachers, like from where I was to where I went, I can say the environment. I can basically say the environment was a contribution to that.
You need to learn the technical skills as well as the social skills, as you have had. It's very important. And that will actually put you in a level ahead. Because if you start thinking technically now, then it becomes very easy to pick up the subjects later.
Tell us more about yourself, what you do, and how you got there.
I just start with the fact that I'm a mentor, and that is something which I'm passionate about. As you have seen today, when we are doing the International Day of the Girls event, we were training on digital leadership, and we were also training on online safety. When we are talking about emerging technologies, we usually become very technical, and sometimes we do not pay attention to things that people do not know. So that's where mentorship comes in, to share the knowledge in a language that other people can understand. I started mentoring way back in 2008. I'm still passionate until today, but I get less time for it. So I have to prioritize, and now I have to learn that my role is more for engaging stakeholders. So I will have to let the ones I have mentored take over the programs that we run on the ground. The Women in STEM Leaders Network is a network of women. It's exactly what it says. It's a network of women leaders who are in STEM. And you're one such leader. And I'm very proud that you're part of the network finally. Because what we do as women in STEM leaders is not only just about women in STEM events. We are building leaders for tomorrow. And we concentrate on the leadership part. Because we know how hard it is to get a woman in STEM on the table, on the board table. So here we are going for the board level. But we know that to go to the board level, we have to build skills from early stages. That's why we do not hesitate to build the skills in a girl. But the girl has also to know that she's heading to the highest level. She's not just being mentored or just having fun in an event or just knowledge for the sake of her to get a job. But she is learning in order to be a leader. So we are building leaders for the future, women in STEM leaders. And women in STEM leaders can be leaders in any part of, let's say, in any sector. It can be the private sector, it can be even the public sector, government, policy makers. We need women in STEM there. We also need women in STEM in civil society, and we need women in STEM in academia. But we need the women in STEM. We're building a society for the future. We need to work together with these women. So these women we are seeing being built together today will change the world tomorrow.
And you as not only a trailblazer and a leader, but also as a woman in STEM, a woman who supports and a woman who uplifts, you have set the tone.
There's a growing number of skilled developers and graduates, yet there are few job opportunities. Some have resorted to online writing, which is illegal, yet the most common source of income for many university students and unemployed graduates in Kenya. Others have resorted to doing cybercrimes by hacking and stealing from technological illiterate citizens due to the lack of stringent tech regulations and policies that ensure tech companies provide enough cybersecurity to its users.
I can see you have books written there, how to be safe online. And one of the things Tunapanda.net is actually doing is ensuring that you can actually be safe. Because as you heard from our engineers right here, that cyberbullying, cybersecurity, all those things are actual things that are happening. So you need to know from an early age what you actually need to do to prevent yourself from being a victim and also prevent other people from being victims.
It's important to learn how to be online, to be safe online, if I may use those words. Of course, when we talk about online safety, we are going into a deeper world. The deeper world is you are already visible online and you are already downloading a lot of information as well. When you download, that means that you probably have given someone access to your device. And that is why we say that there's something called data mining. When data is being mined, it's just the information being not necessarily stolen, but used, the information that you have made available. It can be used for good or for bad. Now sometimes when we give the information, when we avail the information, we are not sure who is going to use it. You avail your information to Facebook, for example, you're not sure whether there is another party, apart from Facebook, that is going to use this information.
The government is also trying to introduce coding in the curriculum and provide laptops to all primary school students in Kenya. What is the future of technology in Kenya, and what skills can be learned to keep up with the evolving tech space?
I just think that emerging technologies is the way to go. And remember that technology is always emerging, it's always changing, it's always evolving. So the way for people to remain on track or just to keep in touch with what's happening around you, what you have learned today is probably going to be obsolete tomorrow. You need to be going for meetups, tech meetups. We have so many across the world, not only in Kenya, not only in Africa. But we need women and also men to be attending those meetups. There's so many new ways of working. There's even ways of building apps without coding. So if there's all these skills, we have all these skills coming up, why aren't people taking advantage of them? So we just need our people to be, let's say, the word I can use is proactive. No one is going to come and feed you in your own house. You have to go out there and fend for yourself and get the information and bring it home.
Tech is the most booming industry or sector in the world, I think. And when we bring it home in terms of Africa, Kenya, it's one of the booming sectors. Actually, I think based on some statistics from last year, the tech industry contributed about 8% to the GDP of this country and created a lot of jobs. I think about, I don't know, I can't remember the number, but they're created a lot of jobs for young people. And so the opportunity is there. I think we cannot now not say that we have tried to figure that out. I think it's been clear, and especially based on all the amazing work that's going on in the continent right now in terms of funding for startups, opportunities, lots of startups being able to raise funding to grow their businesses. So it means that they're creating opportunities for employment. And I believe for most of the young people that are, especially young women that are coming out of school, I think it's a good indication that this is a career that they could actually get into, because then they'll be able to have an opportunity to learn and learn what the things that are needed right now in the world, but also be able to get access good and well-paying jobs. That then means that we can start improving our lives at any one given point. On a silver lining, mobile internet penetration and usage has enabled
many to set up online businesses through social media such as Instagram and Facebook shops, and created employment for digital marketing, content creators, and influencers who are used to drive sales due to their large social media following.
Be very passionate about what you do. Take yourself forward. Appear, show up. And I think it's also good to engage with others without thinking that the other person knows less. Let's just engage in a manner that is interactive, because it's an opportunity to learn every day. So there's no day that someone is going to have the monopoly of information or knowledge. Someone knows more than you. Why don't you go and find out just for that day? And this is what we are pushing people to do, not only in Kenya, regionally and globally.